Dear brothers and sisters, there was an old widow who did not have money to buy any food. She fervently prayed to God, "Dear Lord, please send me a loaf of bread and a bag of rice." Over and over she prayed her prayer loudly. One of the town's unscrupulous citizens who did not believe in God decided to play a trick on her. Through the chimney, he dropped a loaf of bread and a bag of rice. It landed in front of her as she said her prayer. Jumping to her feet, she exclaimed, "Oh Lord, you have answered my prayer." Then she went all over the town telling everybody the good news. This was too much for the scoundrel who had played the trick, who dropped the food down the chimney. He ridiculed her publicly and told her that God did not answer her prayer, but he did. Then the old woman replied to him, "Well, the devil may have brought it, but it was the Lord who sent it." So in today's gospel reading, Jesus says, through the parable of the widow and the unjust judge, he teaches us the efficacy of constant and fervent prayers. Christians must constantly pray. It is duty that we must pray, and it is our identity as Christians that we must pray. It is our privilege and honor that we must pray, and finally, in it, the means of power that we must pray. We must never become weary of praying. In the gospel reading, the wicked judge, the judge of the parable, was characterized as a man who feared neither God nor men. His lack of fear of God took him away from the sense and fear of justice. While he administered judgment, it is very unfortunate and even immoral for a man to sit in the seat of judgment without any sense and fear of justice. His lack of respect for people had blunted his own sensitivity for self-respect. He could give unjust judgments and yet not fear what people said about him. He was a judge of the most wicked kind, and he feared neither his conscience nor had any concern for his reputation. So the power of the widow, the poor widow had justice on her side, but she had no money, no wealth, no power to extract it from the unjust judge. So she made personal applications to him to render her justice. But in his usual way, he disregarded her. He neither had compassion for her, nor he had any respect for truth. Or for that matter, for his own honor, he was the man in the judgment seat who was totally depraved. So the widow went on crying for justice from him. And finally, her importunity threatened to wear him out. Where justice and compassion moved him not, the importunity of prayer moved him to render justice to the poor widow. So what lessons we learn from this parable? That we must be constant in prayer. Even when our prayers are not answered for the first time, we must keep on praying to God. When we pray, justice must be on our side. We must not pray for something which would benefit us by harming others. The widow prayed to an evil man and got her request granted. But we pray to the loving Father who is more eager to grant our prayers. The widow even went alone to the judge to plead for justice. But when we pray, we have an advocate We have Jesus. We have Mother Mary. We have the saints to plead for us. Jesus who intercedes on our behalf. The saints, Mother Mary intercedes for our behalf. So the widow would go to the judge only at a certain time. But we can go to God anytime. We can pray to Him directly, day or night, and plead our cause. The widow's importunity displeased, wearied and irritated the judge. But our fervency of prayers pleases God our Father. He sees our needs. He sees that we need Him, our loving Father and Mother, our God.